journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, this is part 2 of my Traveler's Notebook travel hacks. Be sure and check out part 1 if you haven't already, so this will all make complete sense and you can follow along perfectly, but of course you don't have to. I'm going to show you now that I'm back from my trip how I am taking everything that was in that Traveler's Notebook and putting it in all of the different planners, traveler's notebooks, bullet journals that I use on a daily basis. All right, let's get to it. So this is the insert that I use for my sermon notes. And if you remember from the first video, I didn't have to do anything differently. All I had to do was insert that into the traveler's notebook I was taking with me, because it comes from my traveler's notebook Bible bullet journal. And so I took notes. It was a great sermon on Hannah and the first book of Samuel. And I just needed to insert that now back into my Traveler's Notebook Bible bullet journal. And that one was easy as pie. All right, so now we're going to go to the next one. This is my scripture memorization notes Traveler's Notebook. This one is from Walmart. I did a lot of decorating earlier on, and then I kind of slacked off, so I need to get caught up on my decorating in here. And this is where I write down scriptures that I have memorized just to practice every now and then so I don't forget them. And anytime I'm learning any new scriptures that I'm memorizing, I'll write them in here over and over, day after day, until I get them down, and I'll say them also. And so this is what I did. Now I'm covering up on the right. That are on the right are the prayers. So if you remember, I wasn't bringing my prayer journal as well, and I wrote those in here, but I didn't want to show that, and I can't show the prayer journal in its current state because it has a lot of prayers in it that are personal and with names. So I took out the page that was in the very middle, and one side on the right had prayers and the other side had scripture memorization practice, and then on the back of that was another page. And so by writing in the middle and just pulling those middle pages out, then the insert looks like it's brand new and I've never taken anything out of it. And so now I am just pasting, and I'm using a glue stick and a Dollar Tree cutting board just so that I don't get glue on the page that I'm sticking everything on, so I don't have sticky stuff all over the place and pages sticking together. And then that's how that turned out. I just used my bone folder to smooth it out. So now I just need to decorate. I actually left on the 7th. I was gone the 7th through the 12th, but I did so much that I was able to cover the couple of days that I was behind on in there. And yeah, so that one is all completely done and ready to be decorated. These were my Bible study notes, which I'm currently studying most of the time. I'm studying the sermon notes always every week that I get, but I'm also, my personal study right now is from the book of Hosea, and so I did do some study notes on there. And this bullet journal is from the Clever Fox, which they were generous enough to send to me, and I gave one away in my Facebook group and also on my channel when I hit 2,000 subscribers. There's such a great group of people. Sophie over there is just a blessing. And so this is where I wrote down the sermon notes. Now I read more than this, but this is what I wrote down while I was gone. And I should have cut these sticker sheets out so that they were the width of one side of the bullet journal, but I didn't think about that, so I had to cut it. And then I'm just going to pull the sticker sheet and stick it right in there. Yeah, and that was super easy. And now I definitely need to do some updating in here. Like, I haven't written in here the November date. So, and also that the notes that I'm putting in there are continuing from chapter 2 study guide of the book of Hosea. So I've got some updates I need to be doing in there, but I will give you guys a full flip through of, as I always do, of completed things when the time comes. And so I'm leaving these inserts in there, leaving that craft or dashboard. I was going to use just my rental car thing for when I went from Tulsa, Oklahoma City, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to use that for anything. So these are the doodles that I did in my insert from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop that kind of represented different events from while I was out of town. And I just used a Tombow mono pen and Tombow dual brush pens to draw, and yeah, I ripped that one page out not very well. And so I just ripped the pages out because I forgot to start in the middle so that the insert would look like it hadn't been touched. And so I had to rip them out, and I ripped one of them out not very well. But I scanned them all so that I can create die cuts for my Etsy shop, which I'll let you guys know when those are available. And then I just cut the originals out and pasted them into my bullet journal. And you can tell from the thumbnail that I did go back in and write notes from the different events, but I forgot to film that. I'm sorry about that, you guys. But this is where I placed those doodles, and I really like how they turned out. It was fun and just a way to help remember the different events, and I'll paste pictures later as well from with my friends and family. And then the last thing was practicing my Japanese, which I had not been taking seriously until recently. I was trying to do shortcuts through some different online stuff, which they were helpful, but they just weren't getting the job done. And so I'm finally taking it seriously, and my son has had a couple of semesters of it, and we're going to Japan. If you didn't know that, on my channel I have a traveler's notebook specifically for that trip in 2020. And so now I went ahead and set up a separate bullet journal for actually studying using the Genki book. And so now I'm just going to paste in here the little bit of practicing that I did while I was on the trip. I think I mostly did it on the plane, which was really tight and uncomfortable, but I did do some, and I did do a lot of verbal, so I am practicing, and I just pasted that right in. Just wanted to show you, anytime you have a little excess glue, all you need to do is take an eraser and it will just come right on off, and then you are good to go. So that one is all done. Yeah. And now, this is the very last thing. I wanted to be sure and add the obituary from Mr. Orville Hazley Sr. Papa Hazley, he is was my mentor's husband and like a second father to me, and that's the whole reason I went on the trip, was for his funeral and to support and encourage and comfort my mentor. And so I decided to paste this in a different way than I've ever done before. I have taped things in on the side and folded it in, you know, accordion style and all that different kind of stuff, but I've never really done it the way that I'm doing it right here, and I don't exactly know how to describe it. So I would just say to look at what I'm doing, and that's what I did, and it actually turned out amazingly. I wasn't sure if it was just going to look kind of jank, you know, if it was going to look like, okay, she didn't know what she was doing here, and I didn't, but it turned out well. And I'm just trimming the excess. I did tape it on the back too, but I'm not going to show that. But it turns out that I really didn't have to, because it was very secure. This was some good washi tape. It was very secure with just taping it there. So see, yeah, but I did go ahead, I don't think I showed it on the video, but I did go ahead and do the other side, just so that it would be symmetrical. And then I didn't like how the corners were kind of wearing a little bit, so I decided to use my corner rounder to make it a little bit neater and to preserve it for posterity. And of course, in case you guys didn't know, purple is the color of Alzheimer's. So yeah. And then that's everything, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of my subscribers get an additional discount from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop, and that discount is in the description below. And there I make vegan traveler's notebooks and traveler's notebook accessories for all TNs, vegan or not. I also make bullet journal cover page art for the different months. I also make journaling cards and printable stickers, and I finally have a printable that's free for making a faux Benici. I also have a free water tracker sticker as well. And then check me out on Instagram, and there I post all of my different colorful ventures and adventures at Organized Planner Chic. I have 2 Facebook groups, one that's for everyone in the world. It's called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do frequent giveaways and gift exchanges. And also I have a local one called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, and check that out if you are in the Phoenix area. We meet in person once a month and have lots of planner fun. And then if you are interested in following me or supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, happy planning!